What's up, y'all? It's your main man, Jay Sands on sports, hip-hop and sports entertainment at its finest. That's right, y'all. The big kid is at it again, and this is episode 40 of season 3. So we're really getting into it, or I'm sorry, season 2. This is the third time we've actually had a season, but for this podcast stuff, it's actually season 2. So what we're doing is I want to introduce my co-host today. He came on the show to bless us, and I just want to shout him out from the door. My man Carter P. What's going on, bro? Cause we gonna interview Breeze together, bro. We gonna knock them out together, man. But first, I want to ask you, brother, can you please give the people like a 20-second bio about yourself?
Yeah, I appreciate that. First of all, thanks for having me on. Carter P., formerly the obvious wonder of DGO, mid-90s. Been around for a long time. I met this brother, Brewin. We were roommates at Adelphi University.
Okay.
And I'll say it until they put me in the ground. This is my Nas, top 5 against anybody.
Yeah!
My Nas, it's been a blessing to have him just, to see all the music come together, but more importantly, as a friend.
Yeah.
Our families are tight.
Okay.
His son was born while we was in school, and I used to babysit his son while he was going to the studio. Yeah. And it's just a blessing that we're able to share hip hop now through the lens of fathers, through the lens of professionals. And I'm very happy for this brother right here. He supported me through all my endeavors of a DGO, and when I came out as a solo artist with A Beautiful Mess, and just to my latest collaboration, In My Silence, coming out in May.
Okay.
This brother right here he is my brother. So salute Breeze. He has a dope album. I knew when he sent it to me a couple of months ago. I told him, I said, it's the classic, 30 for 30. And he was like, if you know Breeze, he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're humble.
All this humble bullshit.
Well, check it out. This is what I want to ask you, because I got to ask all the New York dudes, because y'all got 2 teams for everybody. What is your favorite football team?
Not from New York.
Where are you from?
No, I'm from New York. I'm saying my football team, favorite football team is San Francisco.
No shit.
San Francisco. The 49ers.
San Francisco, Jimmy G. Hey, check it out. Jimmy G was trending today, and I didn't click on it. Do you know why he was trending?
Nah.
Okay, well, let's find out real quick. Why Jimmy G was trending today. What Jimmy Garoppolo, why the 49ers should be comfortable with Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, man, ain't nothing happened. He's just talking about, I'm talking about another white dude who's making a lot more money. He just signed a 5-year deal for $137. Yeah, so
what?
I'm a little salty, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, is because Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Yeah,
and we were supposed to get him over there in Cisco.
Yeah,
they didn't pull the trigger because Jimmy G was his backup.
Yeah,
but I get all that, but Tom Brady is money.
Check it out. I might have misspoke. Check it out. No, there is a buzz that the San Francisco 49ers are looking to upgrade from Jimmy G this offseason, and they're basically meeting with teams to trade him. So actually, Jimmy G might be out of there.
They're trying to get this showing too. I heard they was looking at this.
Man, look, Pittsburgh's trying to get this. We need him in Pittsburgh, but
we need him in green and white. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what they said is they said Big Ben's coming back next year for the Steelers, so we got another year of Big Ben. But anyway, let's keep it moving. What about baseball? What's your favorite baseball team?
I don't mess with baseball.
What? You didn't have a favorite baseball team growing up either?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm from Mount Vernon, man.
Yeah, so that's the Yankees.
I mean, it's basketball or rap, man. That's it.
Okay, gotcha. But what about basketball? What's your favorite basketball team?
The Knicks and St. John's.
The Knicks and St. John's. Okay, well, the Knicks are up 85-69 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you good. Do you mess
what
with
RJ doing?
I'm sorry?
Do you mess with the hockey at all? Any at all?
Basketball, rap.
Okay,
hip-hop.
What sports did you play coming up?
Basketball,
What position?
hip-hop. I was a 2, 3,
Okay, oh, you got buckets. Okay, so we call you Carter Buckets. Carter Buckets, man. I can dig it.
Right. You play ball too?
Oh yeah, I played in high school. I played basketball, but it was just to get from football to baseball season. It was just to stay in shape. And then I played a couple years in college, baseball, football, and after that, I was done, bro. Hoop a lot, but even now, it's like I'm 48. I can't even hoop no more, man. It's like hooping hurts too much. Like if I got to sprint for a ball, it's like my hamstring just pulls me back. Nope, you don't do that no more. Nope, you don't do that no more. Like even trying to run upstairs, my hamstring will be like, oh, no, you don't do that no more. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna throw this name at you, and I know where you at in the Pittsburgh area. I'm gonna throw this name, Alan Quipper. Of course, you know that high school. Mark Pope. Mark Pope. He played at Aliquippa.
What's his name?
Mark Pope.
Mark Pope. That sounds so familiar. I thought you was gonna say Ty Law.
No. Is it Mark Pope? What's his? It's Pope. He was at Aliquippa. I want to say 07, 08.
07. Okay, well, see, check it out. It's
baller.
If we're talking 07, 08, that's after 2000. So it's like anything after 2000, whether it's music, TV shows, or even my stuff, it's like it's kind of like kind of lumped in together. Where like the 90s and the 80s, I can tell you who was that Aliquip, Tony Dorsett, or you know what I mean. But once you have 2000, man, it's just all just clutters together, man. Mark, but we're gonna check out. Was he a wide receiver?
No, he played ball. We played them. In Pittsburgh. I want to say in 07, 08, and I just remember he was so good, and all they kept talking about was the history of Aliquippa High School in the Pittsburgh area. Last name was Pope. I'm not sure if it was Mark, but he was a baller. He went to New Mexico State.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was big time.
Wow, and think about we had a lot of ballers. Shout out to my man. Basically, he was I think it was Mark Pope. He was a white dude.
No, that's the one at Kentucky. That's somebody else.
Okay.
Orange Pope.
Yeah, but shout out to my man Danny Fortson. He was also a good basketball player. Went to college.
Cincinnati.
I remember Danny Fortson.
Oh yeah. He from Pittsburgh too, from around my neighborhood, and we had the most fun when he got drafted. And anyway, this interview is not about me. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into our guest of honor today. The man of the hour with all the power, my man Brewin. Breeze, what's up, brother? How are you feeling today, man?
What's good, Sans? How are you, brother?
Hey, bro, you are the man. That's what's that. Hey, you are the motherfucking man, dog.
I know about all that.
I'm such a big fan, man, and it's just like it's like I'm a fan of the bars. But I'm a fan of the person, bro. Like you always been like a dope dude. I go up to Fat Beats. You was dope.
Yeah, man. You go back.
You've always been a dope dude, man. So I'm just a fan.
Thank you, man. I appreciate, man.
And again, I gotta ask you. I want to go through your favorite teams. What are your favorite teams? Well, first of all, before I even do that, can you give us a 20-second bio about yourself, please?
My name is Brewin. I come from a group called the Juggernauts. Bronx based, and then Westchester based, same area, just way uptown. Been rhyming forever. Put out a joint with Bobito. After we were signed, it got dropped, and he picked us up. And then after that, I guess stuff slowed down, and then Prince Paul came through, and he looked out because we had reached out to him when we were signed. And all the while for that, I was in college. I was with that brother. And you know what I mean, just doing our thing, man, trying to make music we love. And still doing that. Been teaching, that brother right there, Carter P, he inspired me, and then I became a teacher after seeing like the life he was living. And I've been an educator, this is my 18th year. And you know what I mean, I love the craft. I mean, I'm just a fan, just like I was a fan of y'all, a fan of your work. And I think this music, you meet like some of the best people in this craft.
Awesome.
So I appreciate just being a part of it.
No doubt. Well, hey, we want to go into your favorite teams, bro. We got to know your favorite football team. We heard it, but what's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team is the Jets. I mean, and I know it. Let the laughter ensue. I mean, let it happen. Wow. I grew up as a Jets fan. You know what I mean? I don't even know why, but
What was your quarterback back in the 70s? Todd, what is his name?
Richard Todd,
Woo!
I mean,
number 14.
Yeah, he was dope.
Nah,
He was dope though.
my dude was what's his name? Ken. What was his name that we drafted when we could have drafted somebody else? I can't remember his name, but we went 10-0 one year and didn't make the playoffs with this dude.
Wow.
What was it? Ken O'Brien? Was it Ken O'Brien?
Yeah, O'Brien.
Yeah.
O'Brien, that's the guy. Yeah.
That's a throwback name right there.
Yeah. And I thought we was gonna say something that year. We didn't. How you go 10-0 and don't make the playoffs? I should have known from then.
You lose the last 6 games.
I should have known from then. And I was all hyped. I was like, Ken O'Brien's killing him. He actually had a good one. But I'm a Jets fan.
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassingly enough, I don't know. The Giants, they were easy to root for. I don't root against them unless they're playing the Jets.
Okay.
So and that's an L. That's an L. But if they playing each other, I'm going for the Jets. But I respect the Giants. I'll rock the gear. I got nothing against them. And that's how it is, honestly, for most New York teams, except with basketball.
Okay, well, let's go into basketball. Your favorite basketball?
Oh, I'm Knicks, and like he said, I'm St. John's. I was a St. John's fan growing up.
Yeah.
Walter Berry, Mark Jackson, Willie Glass. I don't know what happened to St. John's, but when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. Malik Sealy. I had some balls.
Jason Williams.
Yeah.
Boo Harvey. Michael Porter, we had some dudes, and I don't know what happened.
Because I remember, look, I was a Jerome Lane Pitt fan. You know what I mean?
Send it in, Jerome.
Yeah, so we used to play. Yeah. So y'all had some ill teams. What about baseball? You got a favorite baseball squad?
Real talk. I'm from the Bronx, so we would go to the Yankee games, but honestly, I fell in love with the '86 Mets. I fell in love.
Me too. I like them too.
I fell in love with the Drug Squad. You know? I fell in love with the Coke Boys.
Yeah, you
Dwight Gooden and Dow Strawberry.
Coke Boys.
Yeah.
Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah.
Wally Backman. You know what I mean? Ray Knight.
Howard Johnson.
Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Ojo. Ron Darling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ron Darling.
Jesse Orozco. So that was a bomb squad, and it was just a magical year. And that was a good, you know what I mean? Even with hip hop as the background, to see them, I felt like they worked for the hip hop at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With, Dwight Gooden with fronts and, the Jerry Curl. And,
Jerry
the little gold chains from Strawberry. Strawberry was in the hood.
Let me ask you a question. We're going to make it official here. Is the Jerry Curl hip hop?
Jerry Curl's very hip hop.
Okay.
Not for me. We was 360 waves.
I never had no Jerry.
We had do-rags when they had that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dudes' moms had Jerry Curls when we had the 360 waves.
Yeah.
You would go to your man's house and his mom might have a Jerry Curl, and you were like, all right. And you respected it. You were like, it's what it is. But we had, at the same time, we had the 360 waves and, we had the pomade and all that.
There's two smells that I will always forever remember. Chitlins and Jerry Curl. Woo-wee.
The Jerry Curl in your crib, man. Word up.
Oh, man.
I just had the Murrays in my crib.
I never had Jerry Curl. I can say I never had a Jerry Curl. Never. You ever had Jerry Curl, Carter P?
Never.
Okay, well.
I'm not going to front. See, Carter P knows my brother, even the kid, had the most luscious, DeBarge curls in the hood.
Kev, I didn't say that.
When we were young, Kev's his curls were magnificent.
Yeah.
They were majestic. So all the girls was like, yo, where he at? Where Special Ed at? They were going to my brother. And I just had a regular little afro. So I'm not going to front. I tried the S curl. It didn't work. It didn't work.
It never worked out right.
It didn't work out. So I was like, then it was the Caesars because I couldn't compete. He was El DeBarge. like Christopher Williams mixed together.
Hey, just to give y'all updates. 3:08 left, and the Knicks are up by 8. So
real talk though.
Jay, let me just say for the record, because I don't want you to read my obituary tomorrow, Kevin. I did not say that.
Oh,
That
wow.
was your brother.
Yo, Kevin.
Kevin, I didn't say it either, yo.
It's a fact. It's a fact. He got much buns off of that. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's
right.
like.
Well,
I
hey,
mean-
check this. What sports did you play growing up?
I didn't play baseball. I was terrible at baseball. Shout out
Okay.
to my dude Jay Toro. There were dudes who were amazing, so I just kind of
Yeah.
I could catch, I couldn't really throw. I played ball, and honestly, I wasn't that good. You know what I mean? I wasn't like that brother. Like that brother played Riverside Church.
Okay.
Played Young Life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's from Mount Vernon. In Mount Vernon, you're born, you do finger rolls. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My man,
But for
Big
the
Will
rest of
Humphrey. I went to college with a guy. He was a DJ, Big Will Humphrey from Mount Vernon.
Oh yeah, Cincinnati. Okay, yeah.
No, that was the first. That's where I first started holding the mic with a DJ. Was in the dorm with Big Will, and he would be like, "Yo, these dudes from my neighborhood, Pete Rock and CL, they this one all sold all sold out or whatever was coming out." And I remember he brought All Sold Out, and he was telling us about these Heavy D's people. I'm like, oh, okay, bro, okay, cool. But now Big Will Humphrey, I played football with Big Will, and Big Will was a hooper though. And they always, yep. So yeah.
Mount Vernon, they raise them different out there.
Herb Pope is his name from Al Clipper. Herb Pope.
Herb Pope.
He was big time.
And there was a dude from Mount Vernon that used to dunk, and Big Will used to have him on tape. He played with Big Will, but this dude used to just dunk. Played for Mount Vernon. Rasul. Yeah. Rasul.
That's his best friend.
I can throw some names at you, bro. Yeah, I know the history. I can throw some.
Small world. It's crazy. Yeah.
That was Baby Jordan in the Bronx.
Yeah.
We called him Baby Jordan.
Oh wow, man. Oh wow. So yo, Breeze, man, this is what I want to ask you, man, because this is random, very random. Is that every time I see you, man, I just imagine you with a fresh hat on. You know, you got a little fresh hat on right now, like your hat game. Yeah, I got.
I ain't been to the barber, so you know what I mean. I gotta just try to keep it.
So this is what I want to ask you. What are the top starting 5 hats in hip hop? Just hip hop history. What are the top 5 hats that brothers wear?
You know what? It's New York. I mean, the Yankees won.
All right, got the Yankees won.
You gotta give us that. And then I think I mean, I guess you could do the Raiders joint if we gonna keep it balanced. The coast.
Okay, it don't have to be a baseball hat. It could be a designer hat, something like that too. You know what I mean?
I mean, Kango, if we're talking just like headgear, Kango's up there. We all had those. I mean, the fisherman hat got to get love. Woo, EPMD. You know what I mean? Either EPMD or Jungle Brothers, because those are like. But maybe Jungle Brothers is the safari hat, so we'll differentiate in that way. But and other than that, what's another good one, cousin? What's a good one? You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm gonna let you flow on this one. You caught me on that fisherman hat joint. I mean,
if it's cold,
Oh, a beanie, a Scully joint.
Yeah, a little Scully joint. You know what I mean? Like a little Carhartt joint or whatever.
There we go.
You know what I mean? Cats get money with the Carhartts hats.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the top 5 hats in hip hop history. And you hear the sound. That means the first quarter is over, and we are headed to the second quarter. And in the second quarter, I like to start out by asking you, Breeze, about how did the Juggernaut start?
The Juggernaut started, honestly, we weren't the Juggernauts at first.
Okay.
And we had various names, and it was after my first year in college because I had been rhyming. I started rhyming when I was 12.
Yep.
My brother was already rhyming and DJing, like doing shows all over the Bronx, Stardust Ballroom, Club Quando on the Lower East Side. He was all over the place, and he would just DJ and rhyme, and just him and my man Essence. So at that point, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, that's what's up, but we weren't really a group yet.
Okay.
So then we started throwing a couple of joints together, like trying to write songs together, and it worked out. I'm not gonna front. One of my mans, he found my rhyme book and he tried to steal my rhymes.
Oh.
And then I was like, yo, I must be nice if cats will steal my rhymes.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Absolute. But
he put Absolute.
yeah, so then at that point I was like, yeah, I guess I might. And then after, you know, we started doing our thing. And then I went to college and we had a couple of demos just for me and Cap.
Yeah.
And then it was the first summer we had come home from college and Ray came home with me. Ray Folks from Adagio, other half of Adagio.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, y'all had started doing like demos, and that's when I was like, yo, I think I like this name, the Juggernauts.
I remember that.
And then the next summer that we came back, all the new demos started to have that name in it. So at that point, I'm like 19.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And then pretty soon after that, that's when we like, you know, started to put that out there, the name out there.
And the rest is history. I could dig it. So
Yep.
have you ever had a major deal?
Yeah, we were signed to East West Electra.
Okay, yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, so it was like us, Das Effects, KMD,
Wow.
B-Rock and CL, Brand Nubian. Because it was, they had combined East West and Electra.
Got you. And I guess after Electric Deal, it's just been indie ever since. I would take it.
Yeah. I mean, everything we've done, you know, first it was stuff with Bob, and then after that, you know, we did some stuff with, re-released it with these cats, Third Earth, and then other than that, it's Matic Entertainment, Matic Records. That's our shit. Same way how y'all got, you know, Bucharest, we got Matic, you know what I mean? So.
And the thing about it is you got the experience with, like I said, I didn't know you got to experience both sides of the fence. Which side is greener, the indie side or the label side?
Oh, definitely the indie side. I mean, at the end of the day, you get nothing from a label. You get nothing from that. You just get a loan.
Yeah.
And the interest rates are horrible.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like, you know what I mean? When you got to give back, you know, you giving back everything. You know what I mean? For an extended period of time, you got to fight to even, you know, reclaim your own person.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do it this way. And I mean, there's machines in place that, you know, you can do what you need to do. And you ain't got to ask nobody. And you could, you know, I mean, for me, it's cool. I'm still beneath the radar with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like it. You know, I mean, at this point, we building something. And, you know, at 46, it's like, you know, who need to go there and have another boss?
Yeah,
I got a principal. I got a superintendent. I don't need no equivalent version of that for my music.
Got you. Carter P, man, feel free to jump in anytime too, bro. You can make me shut up anytime. Say, Sam, shut up. I got to do this. But, okay.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the stories.
No doubt. Breeze, you got a lot of styles, man. You got, again, me, I'm like my man Percy P. I'm a rhyme inspector. I'm the dude who actually sits up 3 a.m, listening to rhymes, trying to figure out the style. Still, like, you know, like I need to get a life. Like, that's what I do. Oh, that word didn't rhyme as much as it should have rhymed. You know, that's my ass.
Shout out to Percy P, man. That's my brother right there. Word up.
You got a lot of styles. Like you're an artist, man, where you might do a style, do a 13 song album. I heard 13 different styles. You feel what I'm saying? So, how important are your styles, and where does that come from? Being able to switch styles.
That's just hip hop, man. I think just, you know, I'm like you. I really just try to pay attention and see what brothers will be doing, and it's, after a while you get better at analyzing, and then after the analyzing, you know you get better at applying. Yeah. So it's like I like what he did there, but I'll do it like this a little differently. Yeah. And then, you know, you start playing like in and out of the beat. I'm gonna let it breathe more there, and then I'm gonna come back here. You get a little running start before the beginning of the bar. So it's just like little things that you could do to make the joint pop a little more. Got you.
And then we're gonna swing at the Fat Beats. I used to see you in Fat Beats all the time, bro. How did that relationship start with Fat Beats?
That was all the clips, man. That was all the clips. Like I remember meeting the clips when he had just finished DJing for Search.
Okay.
And you know, it was I believe wasn't it him and Riz, cousin? Him and Riz were DJs for Search, right?
Okay.
Well, I met Riz at BAU. I'm not sure if he was with Serge, but I know Eclipse was.
I gotta double check, but
I'm not sure about
Serge
Riz.
had 2 DJs, and Eve was one of them.
Oh, okay. But Riz, we met up at the school at BAU.
Yeah, I think at the time though he had started working, like he was actually in and out working with. I mean, we could check, we could ask him.
Yeah.
But they're both amazing, and exactly like we met him at BAU, and so after that. After I dropped out of school, I was looking for work.
Yeah.
So I would always be in Fat Beach just buying like records as a fan. And E was just like, yo, why don't you come work for us?
Yeah.
Why don't you come through and work? And I was like, well, I'd love to, but I got other stuff going on. And for a while I just, I was like, I ain't trying to go downtown like that, this and that. It's a long train ride from 241st Street.
Yes.
But it was, after a minute, I needed another job.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, it's still, the offer stands, but don't, this ain't, it's a hip hop shop, but you can't live that hip hop life. You got to get here on time.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a reputation, like most hip hop dudes do in their early 20s.
Yeah.
But now I was like, nah, I got this baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to handle stuff. And beyond that, it never felt like a job.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like we were always there. Like we would work sometimes, 10-hour days. But I mean, you got like No Bones and Ice Cream in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got like, the first Slum Village joint in the background, or you got Ultimate Breaks and Beats. So it never felt like, you was working, because that energy that hip hop gives you. And beyond that, you just talking shit with so many people about music.
Yeah.
I mean, like we would do, you know what I mean? Just like really chop it up about the shit I love.
I can imagine it like almost being like a plug position, because again, like everybody, I used to drive from Ohio and Pittsburgh to come to Fat Beats just to be seen. Wow. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then look, you see Percy P out front, Fat Beats.
Yo, you like hip hop? Yo, you like hip hop?
You see Percy P out front of Fat Beats. I knew I would drive 6 hours, and I knew when I get in front of Fat Beats, Percy P was going to be there.
The craziest shit though with that,
I ain't have his number or nothing. I knew he was going to be there though.
The craziest shit about that though was shout out to Percy, because I mean, the Percy should be for perseverance, because at the end of the day, that brother, cats, after a while, it became like, okay, here's Percy. But at the same time, he's one of the best to ever do it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, when Madlib, looked out,
yeah,
you know what I mean? A lot of people shut up. Let me put it
yeah. Because Percy P go back with Raheem from the Furious 5. Like, ooh, yeah, he go back like that. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's one of the original technicians. You know what I mean? Like some cats rhyme and some cats are technicians.
Yeah, he's
he's one of the original, just like syllabic, like technicians. You know what I mean? He could do it, fast rhyming. He can slow it down. He switch speed. So shout out to Percy, man.
Shout out to Percy,
and a good brother, man. And I believe he's back in the X. I saw him not too long ago.
Okay. He hangs out a lot at TME with Fred.
I saw him at TME with Fred. So he's still, in the X. So I'm proud to call that brother a friend.
That's what's I didn't know he was back out east. So that's good to know.
He's back out here.
That's good to know. Okay, college radio shows, and that's been a big thing for your career and my career, I can imagine. You know what I mean? As far as just the importance of college radio. Do you remember, especially in New York City, like that was the thing. Like I can remember, again, driving that 6 hours just to come listen to Stretch and Bobbito live at whoever's house I was staying. You know what I mean? We get the right time to hear the end of the show and all that. And I remember when Common's album, the Brown one day would all make sense. I remember when that came and we had just got there and Common was freestyling on Stretch and Bobbito or something.
I remember that.
Like the college radio days, what does that bring back for you as far as going up there to freestyling, but also as a listener?
Why don't you talk about that, B? Because I got some stories for that shit.
Well, I'll just say that, with Breeze and the Juggernauts, they introduced us to Barbito and Stretch and all that.
Okay.
So, like, once we found out, like, Breeze and them was down with Barbito, like, to me, in my eyes, like, I'm living with him, but, like, he's a star.
Yeah.
So for us, Stretch and Bob will come on at 1 on Thursday nights, 1 to 5, 1 to 4, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, we all had 8 o'clock class. So, but we all made sure that we would take a nap, make sure we ate, we good, and we're going to be up by like 12:30.
Oh, we was up early, though, because we listened to Mayhem and Sunset.
Well, right.
Oh, but that was Wednesday, though. That was Wednesday.
Wednesday, but
yeah.
knew that on Thursdays, we might hear Breeze, who's in this dorm.
Yeah.
So when Clear Blue Skies was bumping, I'm Gonna Kill You, all the demos, we was like, oh, we might hear it. So we would go and get bagels and do what we do and just listen. And, at that time, man, like, we wasn't taping the shows because, like, we was living it.
Yeah.
We should have.
I know, right? But then it was like, almost like, I fell asleep. Yo, did you hear that joint from them kids from Staten Island? The Wu-Tang joint. Or did
keep it a buck though, cousin. Talk about when they came through the Delphi. Talk about when the Wu came through.
I was there when Wu came through.
Yo, the Wu came through to BAU.
Okay.
And I went to BAU for the radio. I wanted to be involved because I listened to Wild Man Steve before I heard Stretch and Bob. I listened to a couple of shows before Stretch and Bob. I'll get into that in a second, but it was so crazy because they came through and they were deep and they had the Wu-Tang joint on tape. You don't remember the white tapes they gave to everybody, B?
I don't think I was there. I don't remember. I wasn't there.
Yo, they came through with a joint that said Wu-Tang Records. It did not say RCA. Yeah. They wasn't even signed yet. Right. And it was Meth, it was INS, it was Ghost, it was Ray, and it was I think it was Old Dirty.
Yeah.
And they came through. There was a lot of funny shit that happened at the time. We're not even gonna get into that, right?
Right.
We ain't trying to expose somebody.
Right.
But
because some of them cats are still trying to make records.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about in our crew.
Okay. Right.
We'll try to use somebody else's rhymes and pass them over to you.
Yeah, you have to go. I know what you're
talking about. We love y'all. We know who you are. But yeah, they came up to the school and they were chill. They were humble. I remember when DOS Effects came up and everybody was chilling around them. And
they was dope.
And it was just cool. Like, they would come to the station, we'd hear them at the station, and then it was always meet them at the UC, try to bar spar with them, see if they was with it.
Yeah.
Some cats would be it, and other cats were like, all right, yeah, man, go ahead with that. but we had to try it, though.
Yeah.
But college radio started for me real early. I think I was probably around 10. So,
wow.
NYU had this dude called P5.
Okay.
And his show came on like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. White dude. And I don't know what he did to piss KRS off, but I'm not gonna front. I heard most of the BDP shit from P5. Before, like at the same time, like Red and them were playing. So that was like one of my first introductions to college radio, because I had my little boom box and I would come in, I would throw on the joint, I would look for it, and it was like 4 o'clock, you could turn it on and P5 would be there. Then the next joint was probably Wild Man Steve, but when I went to basketball camp, my camp counselor was Pete Nice.
Okay.
Because his pops, Ray Nash, was a big dude in New York basketball. So for the Empire State games, his father was the coach for the Brooklyn Queens Empire State Games basketball team.
Wow, okay.
I mean, he had like Kenny Anderson on his team, James Brickhouse, like a lot of good ball players, Brooklyn and Queens. So they had a basketball camp at Manhattan College, and I remember going to that shit. And Pete was my coach. We ended up winning our little championship, and he was like, that's who I met Bob through. But before I met Bob, Pete had a show at Columbia with Clark Kent. It's called the We Could Do This radio show. And on that show, I mean, I wish I had the tapes, but there was like a freestyle session with Pete Nice and Big Daddy Kane that was like 15 minutes long. And he gave me these flyers. They were, I remember, I wish I could probably find them. They were blue. They were like light blue and in black writing, We Could Do This. And when I got back to the Bronx and to New Rochelle, I remember walking up and down White Plains Road and putting all the stickers on cats.
Yeah.
You know, windshields. You know what I mean? That was my first promotion. So that was the show before Stretch and Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably one in between because, you know, I was like 12, 13. And when Stretch and Bob started, I was probably like 20. So, but that show preceded Stretch and Bob. That we could do this show with Clark Kent, who was, you know, real Clark Kent.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Clark Kent, not the producer Clark Kent.
Nah, same dude.
Okay,
same dude. Yeah, DJ Clark Kent, the same dude who, you know, worked like, that helped out Biggie and all that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
So a lot of cats don't know about that show, but that was like one of my first introductions to the joint too.
Oh man.
And then beyond that, it wasn't like college, but you know, New York on Saturday night, man, we had the best.
That's right.
Yeah, man, because it was the Awesome Two.
Okay.
DNA and Hank Love, Special K and Teddy Ted.
Yeah.
And you know, they played everything, man. Like everything that, you know, like you would hear like 98.7 Kiss and 107.5. And they would play, you know, dope joints. But then the dirty versions, you might hear on DNA and Hank Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd hear like Veronica Girl on the regular joint.
Boy.
You know what I mean? And then you'd hear it on later and it'd be like, oh shit. It's like,
oh shit, right?
You know what I mean?
You like they curse on that record?
Yeah, I was like, oh snap. So then you would go and try to get both versions. You know what I mean? The dirty version and the regular joint with Marley Marl or with Metal Alert, but then you would try to get the joint later with DNA Hank Love.
Do you guys remember the first time you played a rap song and your parents heard a curse word in it?
That's crazy.
Damn.
I think for me it had to be. I think it was 6 a.m. Ice-T. It was either that or Lottie Dottie. It was either that or like I'm playing.
I think it was Rick.
Yeah. Hey, bitch, what? Yeah.
I think it was in With Your Wrinkled Pussy. I can't be a lover.
Yeah.
My mother was like, excuse me? What was that?
Yeah. See, they don't understand that back in the day, man, you couldn't have no curse. Like it was just like hip hop has so many rules to just get out there. You know, you couldn't curse, you couldn't do this and that. Now it's just do whatever. It don't even matter, man. You know? Nah,
he was cursing. He was a wild boy. If you
oh man. Well, hey man, that was fun right there. Now we're going into halftime. This is gonna be real quick halftime. I just want to ask you both, can I please get your Super Bowl picks?
What you got, man?
I'm going with KC. I'm going with Kansas City. Yeah, I'm going with Kansas City.
I'm going against Tom Brady.
Okay.
How about that?
There you go.
I'm against Tom Brady. I'm not for nobody.
Who you picking, baby?
I'm going with the American boy. I'm going with Brady.
You going with Brady in the MAGA hat in the back of the?
No, I'm going with football Brady. He's a winner on that field, man. He knows how to get it done. You gotta think about it, man. He's been down there only like 9 months. He changed the whole culture. Got him in the Super Bowl in their hometown. Yeah. In their own stadium.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, that would look bad for Belichick, and I could root for that.
Very bad for Belichick.
I could root for that because it's looking.
Well, you know that's his motivation because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna show you that I'm that dude. Okay. They didn't even make the playoffs, New England. So now he went down, flipped it with a whole new team during the pandemic, and said, you know what? I'm gonna win it in my city, in my stadium.
Now, it's been a minute since they had that. You know what I mean?
I'm not a Brady fan, but I like seeing.
You gotta respect it though.
I like seeing excellence. I like seeing people achieve things.
Excellent.
Just great things happening. Whether it's R.I.P. Hank Aaron hitting 715 or something like that. You just want to see great things achieved. It's Yeah, Brady, man, and I don't even dislike Brady, bro. I want Mahomes to eclipse him because he's the brother. I want Mahomes to come, do his thing.
I mean, Mahomes no joke, man.
No joke. Okay, another thing that happened, man, you guys are smart brothers, way smarter than me, which is great to have you on the show.
Stop it.
Is that, have you guys been watching this GameStop stock market stuff?
I'm trying to figure it out. Really,
I don't know anything about it.
I know that the common man basically got in a position that the average robber baron is in on a daily basis.
Ooh, yeah.
And they shut it down because they were like, whoa, we're not making this money. This money is on the regular people.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess that's the synopsis I got for it. I mean, I wish I bought stock in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm actually a dude where I invest in the mutual funds early in the 90s or whatever, and I still got them. And the thing about it is that, like me, I guess first of all, I don't got that much money invested anyway. But the fact that I think I'm a long-term investor, whereas, when the dudes who school me say, okay, you're gonna put this money away for you when you retire, because there might not be no Social Security. So start putting money away in your 20s or whatever. So that's when I open up them accounts. And so I don't think it really affected the long-term people. Like if you're somebody who's trading every day on shorts and all that type of stuff, again, I don't even know what a short is. It just sounds cool when you say it, that might affect you. But if you're somebody who's trying to invest for a 30, 40-year term where you're not even worried about the small little trends up and down, you're thinking about, again, when you're 65, 70, that's when you might want to play with a little bit or whatever. And I don't think those people are worried about it. And again, still, I don't understand none of it, bro. I don't understand. I mean,
I understand this much. My man was like, look, I had my money in the bank, for a year, and, my interest made like, $7.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I took my money, I took half of that money, I put it in the stock market on the basic go-to, which is like Amazon, Nike, Apple, the heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, in that year, what would have made me $3.50 made me like $3,500.
Wow. Yeah.
And, I mean, I still haven't moved my money over there yet, but there's so many... with the joints like the Robin Hood and trading.
I'm scared of that.
I mean, but that's what cats use to with the GameStop shit.
Yeah.
And then the government swooped in and was like, nah, chill, we're gonna shut it down. But they don't do that for when the robber barons are executing their heist. Nobody does nothing. So,
and that's the thing about it, is like, it didn't take this to happen to make me think that the system is corrupt. Like to me, I'm not a big capitalist. I believe capitalism can work if it's worked correctly and not crooked, but it's never been ran that way in this country, where capitalism can be run how it's supposed to be ran and the money trickles down.
Well, it's selective. It's selective capitalism.
It's exactly.
Cats is getting their money and it's like, oh nah, we ain't invite him to the party. We're gonna shut the party down. So
there's a lot of this selective capitalism, selective religion, selective
socialism. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, you got your police forces, you got your teachers, you got your EMT, you got all that, but it's just like, that's not socialism for some reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? As a teacher, I'm like, yo, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it.
I mean, and if you want private, pay for private. I mean, you got the option, but...
Yeah. I could dig it. Well, hey, we're going out of halftime. That was a cool halftime. Appreciate that. Now we're headed to the third quarter. In the third quarter, what everybody wants to know about Prince Among Thieves, my brother. How did that go down, and how did you feel about making that joint?
Yo, that was definitely a highlight of my career. You know what I mean? It was... and for a couple of reasons, I mean, we all about the same age, like we all wanted to be native. You know what I mean? Like there's a part of us who all wanted to be native, and for what it's worth, there's extensions
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rock and CL are an extension of that. Randall being, maybe they're not like native, but
yeah.
And I mean, I grew up with a native tongue dude like Chi Ali. Like,
yeah,
my sister went to grammar school with him, and
okay,
we were cool into high school, and then we did Funky Road Runner. We were losing our mind. Girls look so good and all that. Yeah, so like a lot of that spawns to me from obviously De La and the Jungle Brothers. And when we had a deal, they were like, all right, well, shout out to my A&R at the time, Kim Spike. She was like, we got budgets. Why don't y'all give us a wish list, think big of producers you want to work with.
Crazy.
So we were basic, you know what I mean? It was like, it was Pete, Preem, Prince Paul, and Large.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, So she was like, all right, well, some of the demos that you got, they're not finished. You're still working on them. Just, make a little tape and I'll get them to you.
Yeah.
So we, these were like unfinished versions of songs that ended up on the first joint with Bob, which would eventually be re-released. And
As a classic, by the way. You didn't mention that.
I appreciate that. But we got dropped. The label dropped us, and it was like, all right, cool. Well, that was fun. Hip hop.
Yeah.
And so then I'm there. I'm chilling. I'm working in the group home at this point, and my shift is like 10:30 to 7 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I got a kid, and it's me and my kid's mom, and we young, and Paul. And then so I get home from this job that's a pretty rough job at the time, and I'm just wild tired, and wasn't no cell phones or nothing. She just was like, yo, you got a message from Prince Paul.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, very funny, and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
So then I wake up, and she was like, here's a message. So I was like, oh shit, for real? She was like, yeah. So I called Paul and I was like, yo, how'd you get my number? I'm not on no label no more. Where to get the contact? So Paul went to Fat Beats.
Yeah.
And he talked to Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yo, do you know this kid Breeze?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I know. Here's his number. And then he called, and from there, I hit him up. The Stretch and Bob, the joint we did for Bobito was out at this point. But Paul had heard all those songs for like 2 years. He was on tour doing the psychoanalysis tour, and he was like, "Yo, this joint, I had a tape with these songs. I think the tape popped." He was like, "Yo, we were playing this shit, we were banging this shit for 2 years."
Yeah.
So then he was like, "I got an idea." I was like, "Whatever you want, I'm in." And he changed my life, man. He gave me my first chunk of like a significant check. He was like, yo, man, here's hold this.
Yeah.
And I wrote that joint at the group home.
Yeah.
At night, because I worked at the night shift. So
I
had to do something to keep myself up. I bought a little Brother word processor. Got busy with mines, and then before you know it, between that and the notebooks I had, I wrote the joint. And then it was time we went, recorded it. Sometimes it was at Paul's crib.
Yeah.
In Amityville. At the time, he had a little studio in like his home, like in a basement, which was dope. And then after that, we went to the studios, man, and it felt good just to be back in the studio again,
I bet. And whose idea was it to like make it a concept, like a movie?
He had the whole script written.
Oh, okay.
Before he called me, the script was written.
Okay.
Like every single word that you heard, like with the characters,
yeah.
that was all preconceived.
Oh wow! Then you just had to fit in the puzzle.
He came in and was like, "I need a song like this."
Oh wow!
Song like that. It was like the list of the songs, and he was like, "This song's gonna go here. This song." He didn't tell me about Weapon, Count Macula, Welcome to Weapon World. He just told me my songs.
Yeah.
And then, between writing it and recording it, that probably took like 6 months. And then it took him another couple months to chop it all together because this was pre-Pro Tools.
Yeah.
So he did this with 3 8-ats.
Okay. Wow.
The black joints.
Yeah.
I mean, for the cats who know, it's like the black joints.
Mm-hmm.
So his editing prowess, it was Bomb Squad-esque when you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I would say every line like 6 times.
Okay.
That must have taken so long to mix because you think about how Pro Tools now is so fast.
Fast.
With the editing and the mixing and all that. Now you're talking about 8-ats.
And Carter
you didn't even say 2-inch.
And Carter P.
8-ats.
It was all outboard. It wasn't like, it was like just effects, module, not plugin, compressors, everything.
Live while you were there, and then you were like, going over it in your head and then piecing it together and then telling them? Or
I don't know. Yo, honestly, I think he needs to explain. I mean, it's old school recording, but the planning that had it I don't know if he ended up bouncing stuff down to 2 like, I still don't know.
Yeah.
But
it would have been tough for Pro Tools. When you think about it.
We always were in the mixing session back then. Now with Pro Tools and Logic and all that, you kind of trust people and they can send you the email and go back and forth.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that then. You had to really be there.
You had to be there. With the tape on the mixing board.
And it wasn't, the first time I saw the knees board with the flying faders to pull the mix back up, I was like, oh, what's that? The mix comes back up? Well, like if you had a bad mix the night before, you had to go back and it up and like you would never get that.
Remember we used to draw this shit in?
Yeah.
They used to draw in the EQ. Yeah. All right, here's your mix, and they draw in the EQ and like
it sounds totally awful.
And they hit the next day and like, nah,
he did all of that with you, and you weren't there, and y'all were back and forth. It's amazing.
That's great.
I didn't even hear that story. Crazy.
Yeah, like I was never there when he mixed. I would just come in, and but he, I mean, the work ethic and he's a genius. He changed the game. So, and beyond that, he's just like a really good dude. Like when I was going through stuff, like I talked to Paul about a lot of that, man. He was just like, yo, man, it's what it is, man.
Yeah.
And we would talk. That was that's the homie right there, man. That's my brother.
Yeah, I seen him in Fat Beats a few times actually as well, buying records. When I'm just up there randomly see Prince Paul and Fat Beats. I've seen him a few times up there buying records. Yep.
And there's other heroes. I'm not gonna front, like there's other dudes that we've tried to reach out to. Cats have their preferences, so I ain't mad at nobody. But
that's a bookmark though. That I call those bookmark moments in life. Where your life page. Like, okay, there's a bookmark right there. Like, okay, wow, meeting Prince Paul doing that. That's like, I got bookmarks in my life too that are like, wow, it kind of changed me a little bit, or something happened there. It was a monumental moment, or whatever. And cause we did a song about, you're on one of my albums I put out last year, Story Rhymes, and that's the whole thing. Like, that's how the song. I said I want to do a song with Breeze, but if I do a song with Breeze, it has to be like a concept or story. Like I don't want to just get 16s about my sweatpants is better than yours. I want to. It has, like I said, it has to be a concept. And
it was.
What is the art of concept rhyming to be able to, again, you're telling a story. It's like you got to complete a whole entire thought. You can't go to too many different tangents. You got to stay on track and complete this story and make it make sense and make it rhyme.
Well, I mean, when you hit me, it was like I don't slow down on the collaborations. You know what I mean? Like I'll still do them if it makes sense. But once I'll do them with family. You know what I mean? I was on the joint with Carter P, Too Many, which was also like how you tweaking the repetition. I was like, oh, that's gonna be fun. Like you gotta have something in it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like. That's different. That's interesting. That makes the collab easier.
Okay.
And you just kind of like, it was like a challenge. I was like, oh shit. He was like, yo, this joint's called Story Rhymes. You're who you are. let's get a story. You got a little time. So
That's what it was.
I was like, oh man, that's a challenge. I see what you're doing, Sanzy. I see what it is. And then that joint came out, and I was like, I was dumb proud of that joint. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
verse,
me too. I
story.
And look,
like,
if I didn't get that verse, I probably want to put that album out, man. That gave me the confidence to put that album out. Like, oh, okay.
There's joints on there. That Karen joint. That Karen joint is fire.
Thank you. Yeah. You're about to shoot a video for that. You know?
Oh man, I can't imagine.
I like the joint you got with Hubs too. I know he's from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, big up the Hubs. Hubs, yes sir. Hubs is
I like that joint too. Yeah.
Friend of my wife's younger brother, and he hooked me up with Hubs. I seen Hubs. He was doing stuff in Pittsburgh, but keep in mind I've been in Baltimore the last 12 years. So.
Oh, you in Baltimore now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes sir. So I'm in Baltimore, and it's like I keep an eye on Pittsburgh, but it's like all the Hubs, the Mac Miller, the Wiz Khalifa. I kind of missed that boat because I was kind of down here.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know them. I know them. They know me. Whatever. But it's just like,
what about Apollo? You cool with Apollo?
Who?
Apollo Brown?
He's from Pittsburgh?
I believe so.
No, he's from Detroit, I believe.
I'm buzzing, but yeah, I'm thinking somebody.
Detroit.
Yeah.
But we are fraternity brothers, a Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity incorporated. But yeah, I never actually kicked it with him or nothing like that.
He's dope.
Yeah,
he's dope.
He to me, he's like he got that.
I thought he was from y'all town, but yeah, he is from DD. You're right.
Yep, from Detroit, definitely. So. Brothers, I want to ask you because it's important. We're three brothers who do have an education. How does that fit into your lifestyle and also being part of hip hop? How important is that part to you, the education?
Talk about that, B, because you doing more with that to talk about it.
Are you part of the hip hop ed movement that's going on right now?
I mean, I feel organically.
Yeah.
Not some of these fake people that's doing it and ain't got no albums out, but that's another conversation.
I mean, there's dudes who, I got dudes who are educators and are hip hop. Like you could talk about hip hop and that's cool and you're a fan, but I mean, there's like real dudes. It's like Wordsworth, John Robinson,
J. Rawls,
Carter B.
Yeah.
Brewin.
Like there's a lot of dudes who are like legitimate, like
substantial,
doing both of them. Yep. Yeah, substantial. GMS, my man, from the play.
J Live, a teacher.
Who was that?
J Live, is he a teacher?
Not anymore, but he did. He taught for years.
Got you.
And I respect it. So it's like, it's nothing I'm trying to do. I mean, I always have put hip hop into my teaching because it's a great resource.
Yeah.
I mean, there's songs that I think you could put them next to any John Donne poem or
crazy.
Like, there's stories that James Baldwin would be impressed by, and it's hip hop.
Yeah.
So why I'm not going to use that? I mean, I've gotten in trouble for it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like the superintendent was like, "What are you doing?" And I had to break it down to her. I was like, look, this is the lesson. I'm connecting this song to this New York magazine article and this and that. She's like, yeah, all right, I get it, but don't you want the kids to elevate above where they are? I was like, this is hip hop.
Yeah.
This elevates everybody.
Last voice of black people. This is our last.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I got that from Chris. I got that from your area. I got it from the Bronx area. From Paris.
The last voice of black people. Wow.
Paris One. I mean, I forget what album. I want to say he said that on maybe Edutainment.
Oh yeah, I missed that one. Okay.
Yep. The last voice, because he had a lot of different speaking interludes from him doing speeches, and he did say that like hip hop is the last voice of black people. That's why probably they're manipulating it a lot, because they understand like again, I always say the Black Power movement. There's no way a white dude who owned I don't know what record label Brand New was on, but there's no way that he listened to Wake Up and was proud that his company was putting that out. You know what I mean? And that black people are, you know, once they figure, it's kind of like code. They finally figured out, okay, wow, this is how black people are communicating. This is how they're transferring information. This is how Chuck D is letting people, a mass amount of people know about Farrakhan or whatever. And I'm sure they weren't happy with that. You know what I mean?
There's a bugged out article actually about Electra.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about the owner who was a white dude, he was British.
Okay.
And Dante, who's another white dude, but Dante's official.
Okay.
And he talked about like how he had to fight for these artists. And I mean, honestly, when I got there, it switched up.
Yeah.
Because they dropped everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, there has to be some merit to it because, you know, I thought my label mates were going to be the dudes I said before, Brand New, and KMD, this and that.
Yeah.
And everybody got dropped within like six months when we got the deal. And then they got replaced basically by Timbaland and Missy.
Yeah. And
no disrespect to Timbaland and Missy, but at the same time, it was like, I guess we're getting that money.
It switches the voice, though. It
switches the voice a lot. But, you know, the education in hip-hop, to me, this shit is DNA at this point with dudes our age. I mean, my man Carter P has taken kids around the world with his foundation, with my man Dana Doggett. You know what I mean? And it's not like you even gotta say it's hip-hop related. It just is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just part of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it doesn't hurt, I guess, to bring it out, make it more explicit. Yeah, my brother, speak on this.
I will say though, like where hip hop, you know, like us, like, you know, coming through that golden era, one of the golden eras in the 90s, it's like now, it seems like there's been a resurgence with the golden era now, like with this sound that's out now. And it's like, you know, people want to put an age on hip hop and like how you can do it and what you should do. This is the only genre of music they put like boundaries around and age limits. Like you don't hear that with rock. You don't hear that with country. You don't even hear that with R&B or gospel. But with hip hop, it's almost like, well, you have to be this age. You have to be from here. You have to be from there. Like we got to get past that stereotype because there's so many messages that you know are being put out there that are dope. And different stories of people that have different backgrounds and have different ethnicities, and just us as educators who have a message. And you know, you like Breeze is an English teacher. Like, so you mean to tell me he can't teach poetry? He can't talk about one of his songs and then talk about a famous poem and then relate them both? Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, if I'm his administrator, I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah,
that's creative. Like, that's what we want. But like, you know, you look at these school curriculums, they only want to teach you a certain type of way. Yeah. And that's why we have some of the problems that we have because we haven't thought outside the box. But with hip hop, that's our voice to do that.
Yeah.
To go outside the box.
I'll say something about these like academics who may not be in the class with us, and some of them maybe they haven't. They definitely don't have the chops we have as artists, and that's no knock.
You mean like the like you look at all the guys that's on the circuit, Breeze, and we talk about this all the time. Like they talking about hip hop education, they don't even have a single, more or less an album, but more or less a catalog.
Yeah.
Like
but the good thing about them, though, B, the good thing about them is like some of these dudes are like plugged in academics.
Yeah.
So they could write the articles that our administrators and our superintendents may read on a Sunday, you know what I mean? And be like, okay, so-and-so who's, you know, connected to this university, if he says it and look how he's phrasing it, there's like numerous books out now that people are like, okay, cool.
There's one guy that's big, and we I'm not gonna say his name on this, but you know who I'm talking about. But you know, he spoke in my district, and I listened, and I did the research, and I'm just like, I hear you, but like your credentials don't really match up to my team.
Yeah. And
then it's almost like, well, let me listen to your music. Let me go to Apple Music. Let me hear what you're talking about. Let me hear your catalog. Like, you don't have a catalog. So I don't get the relationship.
Well, how was he talking at the district though? Like,
because he used musical references to talk about contemporary issues.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay,
who was there? Was like the
entire school, the entire school,
the superintendent,
the entire school district.
Everybody.
Okay, so
but that's what I'm saying though. That might actually help.
Saying. So why is that person not us? Because if you're making musical references about politics and poverty and different things that are related in different music with hip hop, we're talking about that.
But you got, that dude got a couple of books out, so I can't knock his hustle. And all I'm saying is that might be paving the way for us to write some books. One.
That's true.
And two, next time my superintendent is like, hey, why are you doing that? I'm going to be like,
yeah,
see this book here? It's brilliant. All right, back off.
Right.
And I was talking to Breeze earlier about how I listen to NPR, and something you brought up a few minutes ago, Carter, about the ageism in hip hop, where it's the only genre that and I think there's something to this, because I was listening to this show today on NPR in Baltimore, and they were talking about the fact that we don't pass the torch as a culture, where maybe they make a rapper over 50 look bad because they don't want him to be respected, because they don't want the kids to be looking at him as an outlet for knowledge or to pass that torch. I don't want to carry his torch. He's lame as hell. Why do I want to carry his torch? You know what I mean? So it's the fact that maybe they have it planned that way, where we're going to make sure that there are no rap stars over 50, over 40 or whatever, because we don't want them to have the power over the youth to be able to pass. Or I mean that's what
they want though. Yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah, for white supremacy, even from slavery, where they try to make the disconnect from religion and knowledge of Africa. They had to wipe away a whole generation of information and start black people in America clean without knowing their history. And I think that's a big part of being able, at least for white supremacy, being able to maintain that is cutting the tie between the older generation and the younger generation. If anything, in the black community, the older generation and the younger generation is at each other's neck. Black men and women are at each other's neck. Even young black people, I live in Baltimore, the murder capital, are at each other's neck. And I think that's a way that if what do they call it, as divide and conquer,
right.
Yeah, these aren't sayings that stayed around because they didn't work. This stuff works. So I believe that they have divided the older black people, even from us. Like we might look at our uncles, our mom and dad, and there's a divide there. There's a divide there because they were the one, they might like hip hop now, but when we were coming up, they didn't like no damn hip hop, but turn that stuff down, you know what I mean? So with blacks, there's always been that disconnect. And I think in hip hop, it's really being applied, where if you're over 40 and you're into hip hop, or maybe over 50, you're lame to somebody who's 20. They don't
well, Bree spoke about that on Mentor, right, Bree?
That's why I wanted to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Mentor joint, because
dope song.
I do think that it's important. Like we're definitely choking ourselves out and we blocking our blessings.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't, experience is so important.
Yeah.
And when you don't have somebody when you have somebody who has that experience, how do you not tap into that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you not ask them questions? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, when I first started making beats, I didn't know what quantizing was.
Okay.
So, cousin had just got, AKA Carter P.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had the SP. You had the SP before me, I believe, cousin.
But I learned quantizing from Kev with the EPS. He showed me that, and then
there's a chain. There's a chain.
But I was on Mentor, so I didn't know that. So when I first got the SP, that was the first thing I looked at. 1/16 quantized. I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, I had a dude who used to, I was making beats with, and the beats was wild tight. I just thought, he was like this time and ninja. Like he just knew, he didn't know. Oh man, time is crazy. But he was quantizing and then tell me. So then You know,
he was? He didn't tell you about the quantize?
So cousin told me about the quantize, and I was like, oh, my shit is tight now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is like, if you pass down those experiences, it just, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, you think Steph Curry is Steph Curry just he was born that way? No. Del Curry was one of the greatest shooters in NBA history.
And another thing, I listened to a Steph interview. He said that throughout his career, Reggie, Ray, all the three-pointers were in his ear. You know, good job, Steph. Way to do it. You know, so he was getting schooled by the three-pointers that, you know, Reggie Miller would hit him up.
It's not by accident.
Yeah,
it's not by accident that there's so many dudes in the NBA now who are second generation. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson.
But think about hip hop. What prominent hip hop artist right now, you could think about it, is really paving the way and supporting and putting that next person out there with the stamp?
I'm gonna have to say, I mean, Rick Ross might be the only, you know, or again, it might be people that we're not like the dude Shoe. I'm not familiar with it too much, but I know he had the City Girls and a lot of those trap. So it's happening. It's just
here's another example, another way to look at it, not to cut nobody off. Look at Kendrick.
Okay.
Look how Kendrick was embraced by Snoop, Dre, all of those dudes he looked up to.
Game.
They all rolled out the red carpet for Kendrick, as they should have, cause I mean he's a freak of nature. He's amazing. So they went and said, yo, these dudes right here. I mean, I'm trying to think of anybody in New York that had a similar experience. Somehow in New York, there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a controversial statement.
Has that happened in New York with that type of
I mean, you could talk about Griselda, but honestly, Griselda was, you know, like they made themselves. They made themselves. Yeah. Kendrick early on, it was like, yo, let's pull them in. Let's build them up. And I don't know if that's the case in New York. I can't think of an example that emphatic where it was like, this dude mentored me. You could look back in the days.
Wu-Tang might be the last one, or maybe Rockefeller. That might be the last.
Yeah, but who was their mentee? They came up to get, well, Jazz, I mean for Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
But underneath them, who was it? I mean, you could say maybe Cole.
Okay.
But that's Jay and Cole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it should be far more frequent.
Like Heavy D was a great mentor. Heavy D was a great mentor.
Look at the tree. You know what I mean? It was
That's a fact.
Have Pete Rock and CL. Underneath Pete Rock and CL.
Andy Rain, Puffy Combs. All Puffy did is under the Heavy D tree to me. You know what I mean?
In New York, we could step it up, man. We need to step it up.
Really want to flip it, Soul for Real, but then Have made it like an image and okay to be like big and fly, and for Biggie to like, okay, I'm a flip it now on some street shit, not from Mount Vernon, but from Brooklyn.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's a coincidence that again Puffy found a Heavy D and made him?
It wasn't an accident.
No. He just got a dark skin.
I mean, the One More Chance video, who was the dude in the front let people into the brownstone?
But look who was on the top of that tree.
Andre Harrell, R.I.P.
Look who was on that top of that tree.
That's mentoring. That's the power of mentoring.
So that's the example right there. That was really the last example.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Andre Harrell, man.
R&B to Mary J. I mean R&B music. Mary J. Puff, Big, Ebb, Soul for Real. I mean, they even had the Lost Boys.
That song, you know, I really wanted to put that out there because I just think the power of it. I know you as an educator, me as an educator, like I try to mentor kids every day.
Yeah.
And I know, you don't win them all.
Don't win them all.
I mean, I don't win them all in my own family. But at the end of the day, you try.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a power in that, and I know that there are powers that be that don't want that shit to happen.
Yeah.
And it's not by accident that our genre is the one where, you know what I mean? It's like, just like y'all said, just like, you know, Carter P was saying, it's like, yo, this gotta be whack and this gotta, I mean, granted, I'm not gonna make no record. I'm not making a trap record. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna make a country record either. It's just shit I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But if there's a young boy and he's spitting, I just did a record with the boy Hus Kingpin, man. That was a hot record.
Yeah. Big up Hut. Yeah.
That brother's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and he respects the craft.
He respects it.
You can just tell by his music, like he's on top of it. He's got his ear to the speaker, his pen is moving, and that's all you can ask for, you know? If you're doing that, I respect you.
Connecting the dots. Hey, Carter P, what you sipping on over there, brother?
This is water. I just came in.
Water? Okay, you had it in the wine glass. I'm like, oh, he over there. You got the Courvoisier.
I'm just fronting for the gram.
Okay. Well, we're sponsored by Jack Daniel's Lemonade Honey Tea over this way. Yo, check this out. That's the end of the third quarter. We're about to hit into the fourth quarter, and we're gonna get out of here. And this quarter, I just want to, sometimes it's like, hey man, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about it. This quarter, we got to talk about this. There's only one name I want to bring up, and that's Miss Cicely Tyson, who just passed away yesterday, man. Now, for me, when I think of a black woman, I think of Bustin' Loose. How beautiful Cicely Tyson was in the movie Bustin' Loose. Like, and I didn't even notice it when I was a kid watching the movie, because it was just like, okay, she looked like mom's age. But when you're dad's age and you looking at Cicely Tyson back in the day, like, wow, Cicely Tyson was a beautiful woman. Then you think of other black actresses like Lena Horne, Diane Carroll, and it's just that black actress with class, like you didn't see any twerking videos of Cicely Tyson, you know what I mean? Not like, it's like she had esteem and class with her and dignity with her, and she was a leader, man. So what do you guys remember about Cicely Tyson?
I remember. Oh, go ahead, Bree.
Nah, you got it, brother.
Nah, I just remember she set the bar super high for like female actresses in Hollywood, and not just from her level of class, but because of her skin tone.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you couldn't be a certain shade in Hollywood.
Dark.
To be prominent on the screen.
Yeah.
But not even just to be prominent, just to be given an opportunity to read a script.
Yeah.
And she made sure that when she was given a script, that she would make the best of it, and that you wouldn't even know or remember the skin tone. You would just remember that was a really great actress.
Yeah.
And she set the bar for everybody that came after that, from Taraji right now. Dope female actors you can think about right now.
Yeah.
Diana Carroll, like you said, all the way up to 96-year-old Cicely Tyson.
Yeah.
That was the classic Gucci bag. That was the standard, and she said it. And she had her ear to the streets with civil rights. She was about the movement. She understood the struggle, and she wanted the best for her people. And that like superseded her craft on the screen, because she wanted her people to be better.
Yeah. I heard a sister on the radio today talking about how, as a dark-skinned woman, seeing Cicely Tyson on the screen gave her so much confidence, because she always felt a certain way about being a dark-skinned black woman. But seeing Cicely Tyson, it was a lady that was in her 60s, and she was talking about how just seeing Cicely Tyson and being portrayed as beautiful in that black skin meant everything to her.
And y'all didn't know she was in love with Miles Davis.
I knew that. And
you knew that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Did you date Richard Pryor?
No, I didn't say Richard Pryor. I don't know about that, but I know Miles Davis.
Miles Davis, I heard. I did hear
Miles about Davis. Her changing his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was his boo.
Wow. Well, Cicely Tyson, man, she was definitely, like I said, man, just from my childhood, like when that Bustin' Loose, I don't know about y'all, but like first time I saw Bustin' Loose, I cried. Like that's when the bus when they pull away and then they stop and then they come back and run, they gonna keep the form. You're like, oh man, they play that song. Yeah, okay. Cicely Tyson's married to Miles Davis from 1981 to 1988, and you know Miles was a motherfucker, so that probably was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, everything y'all said and just Black excellence and just longevity and presence. You know what I mean? It's like you see her maintain that for so many years, and you know, just to have that icon, I mean, people were like, "Yo, you can't even call her queen." You know what I mean? She's straight goddess. She's goddess level. You know what I mean? And it's you know, it's inevitable, you know. It's you know, she lived an amazing life, and she just touched so many people. But you know, it's still hard to, I guess, accept. You know, 96, and you're like, damn, what more do we want? But you gave us so much that it's just so like.
And they said that her last words that she said, I did everything I could. Like I tried as hard as I could. That's what she said. You know?
That was her last word?
I'm not sure of her last word, but that's what I heard on the radio is that was kind of the message she wanted to put across, that I tried hard to do the best I could. You know what I mean? That's just
so good.
And you know what's ironic? John Chaney, Coach Chaney from Temple, he passed away.
I'm looking at his bio, John Chaney, born in 1932, like, Jacksonville. I'm looking at it right now.
But that would be back to back.
Well,
you know, like,
John Chaney,
like your show,
Temple basketball head coach. Yeah, he paid.
I love John Chaney.
Remember his fight Coach
Calipari, yeah.
But the whole correlation of sports and entertainment always, like, you know, is together. And like, you know, God took Cicely Tyson, then Coach Chaney, like two icons, not just with their profession, but with the civil rights movement and for Black people. You know, like, that's crazy.
Like I said, Hank Aaron to me was bigger than everything, and he just passed. And it's just like, you know, we're losing the heroes of our childhood, early adulthood, at midlife. You know, we're losing these heroes, and we got to shout their names out. We gotta make sure that we're talking about them, because if we don't tell their story, how important they were to us, it's going to be some others telling their story, and it's going to, what they call, whitewashing the story. So we want to keep talking about the greats, you know, and just how important they were to us, man. So big up to Cicely Tyson, John Chaney, and Hank Aaron, R.I.P. And with that being said, my brothers, that is the end of the fourth quarter. The game is over. The game time, game time, man. So
is that 12-minute quarters or 10-minute quarters?
Man, when you drinking the Jack lemonade, brother, just freestyle. You don't know. Just freestyle. Man.
Right.
So yo, Carter P, man, do you have anything on the outro, man? Let people know what you got coming up, how to get in contact with you, your social media, all that. Please.
Congratulations to my brother Brewin. This is his show, man. I'm just glad to be here. Nice to meet
put it all out.
Put it out, man, because I don't want to play. Look, Carter P, if you let me play middleman and somebody want to get a beat or something, they hit me up. Oh yeah, I see him on the show. I want to get a beat. I'm like, okay, look, I need a $500 deposit.
Then you know what? Let them do their homework.
Get out, my man.
Let them do their homework. Shout out to my brother Brewin.
Yeah.
My brother from Adelphi. Salute to you, Juggernaut. Congratulations, dope album, and I'm just proud to be here. Nice to meet you. Dope album.
Yes, sir.
I hit you on Instagram, and I was like, yo, dope album. I listened to it 3 times.
Yes, sir.
You told me about it, so salute to both of y'all. Yeah. Go get that Hindsight album, man. Dope.
Yes, salute. Sir. Yes, sir.
That's it.
Mr. Breeze, man, you got something out there, man. Please let them know about the new album, what you got coming up in the future, how to get in contact with you on the social and all that, please.
Yeah, man. You could, find me on the Breeze Brewin, Instagram or Twitter. You know what I mean? I'm happy to have this album out. You could definitely check, the Juggernauts. It's straight up the Juggernauts, right? Let me check that.
I'm gonna ask you, is this your first solo album?
This is my first solo joint.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
Yeah, it's my first solo joint.
Don't be asking me my IG shit.
Nah, my brother, you gotta get that out.
No, we're not doing that humble bullshit, please. No.
Nah, yo, we all together. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Shout out to Matic Records. You know what I mean? To Emo Records. And, I just want to shout, my Instagram is The Juggernauts. That's also the home for Matic Records. You can reach me there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Queen Heroine. Shout out to Ray Folks.
Yeah.
He got a dope project out right now. Shit, where the vinyl at?
Bring it out.
Right here. All right, check it out. Old new nigga right here. This joint right here.
Yeah.
We got the vinyl coming. We're gonna tell y'all about the specials for it. It's about to be up on Fat Beats. You'll be able to get it from there or from us directly. We got the merch, t-shirts. We got a special giveaway coming up for the t-shirts, and then we also got a deal with the t-shirt and the vinyl. More to come on that. And I'm just glad to be out here, glad to be healthy.
Yes.
And I'm blessed, I'm honored. I'm glad to talk to you.
Yes.
And this was fun. You know what I mean?
Fun on a Friday. Fun on when you're in your 40s, if you're doing Fridays, man, you're out at the club, you're doing this.
Hey man, it's the culture, man. We gotta keep building on it.
Check it out. I'm Jay Sands. That's Carter P. That's my man Breeze Brewin. This is Sands on Sports, and we out of here, y'all. Peace.